However, the insurance company always pays.
It always pays less than what we need. So the one thing is they're hoping a chuck in a truck just takes it and runs with it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Blue Collar Boardroom. We've got a true supplement king in the house, and this episode is going to be jam-packed with ways to maximize insurance claims, win with tough insurance adjusters, get overhead and profit on all of your deals, and I'm bringing you Kyle Cherone. Kyle is actually our RCA's supplement director, and now we're offering our supplement services through Sky Diamonds to our clients. And so Kyle's grown up in the industry, and what I'm going to talk about is sort of a story, a transition from blue collar to white collar, and how a guy has been able to take a skill set that is very hard to duplicate, being able to maximize claims, negotiate with insurance companies, and build a team to create more results. So if you're one of these roofers or insurance restoration professionals, I don't care if you're in sales, if you're an owner, you need to understand key mistakes that contractors make in the supplement process. And we're going to cover some of those mistakes in this interview. Kyle, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, my man over here is trying to get out there in the waves. How can these guys get a hold of you? Where can they find you out there?
So we have a new website, sdusupplements.com. You can find our contact information for our phone number and email. We also have a flyer to get kind of go over our services.
And we work on a contingency of success.
Yep. And
we only work on if we gain insurance money on a claim. And so we'll kind of get into that a little bit. But number one, Kyle, tell me a little bit about your background. How'd this all get started?
Well, I grew up on a little dirt road, middle of Wisconsin. Cornfields both sides, 450 people. Uncle owned a roofing company. Had a little trouble when I was in 10th grade. They booted me out.
Oh, you're one of those? I got booted or almost booted.
Yeah, they let me back in 11th, but then I got booted again.
Damn.
From there, I started roofing as a tear-off guy. Then I started working with my uncle's subs. Learned a lot about roofing, know why things are done a certain way. So when we're negotiating with insurance companies, I'm able to teach my team, hey, this is why it needs to be installed this way. This is why that adjuster who's never actually been on a roof doesn't know what he's talking about. So from there, I did that for a while. Then I got linked up with the Edge Contracting with Michael Doyle.
God rest his soul. This guy was involved in Sky Diamonds, but he passed away.
Very nice guy, very high energy, someone you get excited to go work with. So I worked in Muscatine, Iowa for a storm.
Coming from a roofing background, from on the roof, what was it like to hear about this door knocking?
When I heard that you could make thousands of dollars, you can get insurance companies to pay.
You thought they were full of shit.
$450 a square, I thought was insane at the time.
Oh, yeah?
we were $250 a square all day.
$250, huh?
Yeah, cash.
Nice.
So it was all cash. There was no workman's comp. There was none of that. So the whole different animal.
Nice. So you like best damn roofer up there? You like cracking beers up on the roof or what?
No, we had our safety meetings.
Oh, nice. so okay.
Smoking the doobs.
Oh, smoking the doobs, but staying off the booze. That's cool.
Yeah.
Safe roofers. Tell us more about how you kind of got into actually doing supplements and specializing in maximizing claims.
So I got into working with American Family Insurance as a desk adjuster as an IA.
Oh, you're one of the evil pricks.
Yeah. So I got to...
Is it like the office? Like, you walk in the show, like a bunch of desk adjusters sitting. I just imagine what it would be like. What the does it look like in there?
They have cubicles.
In the insurance cubicle world.
They mostly have cubicles, but for IAs, they would just line up tables.
Oh, shit.
And it was like...
You didn't even get a cubicle?
No. They're at least standing desks, so that was okay.
And it's just a whole, everybody's like, no, you do not qualify. I mean, what's it like? Is that you just...
Yeah, you're getting notes from other people next to you. Be quiet, I can't hear my person. And you're just seeing a lot of the bureaucracy. A lot of things I didn't know was I watched people next to me not approve things that they could have got approved if they explained it to their manager correctly. But a lot of the adjusters that I was working with didn't understand how a roof gets put together. So they know that, especially as an IA, you have a short leash. You have to justify it to your manager, who the manager then gives you approval to cut the check. And if you don't know how to explain that to your manager, the short thing to do is just deny it.
Just deny it. I'm a straight rider. You ain't gonna with me.
Because especially in an IA, you can get told to leave any day. So the last thing you want to do is bog down your manager with requests that get turned back.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing was to do is deny, deny, deny.
Yeah, deny. They should make a song after that. But, that's why we're here. If you're a roofing contractor, I know you want to maximize claims. This guy knows not just the secrets of how to write the estimate or how to get the approval, but how to get through the bureaucracy of the system. Because we're trying to win, and I always say pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Now, you're not overcharging insurance companies out there, are you?
No, we're making sure that we get a good, decent price. I know I got an MRI.
How often am I doing that to you?
I don't know. I know you've asked me to make sure I'm not.
Yeah.
I know that if I get an MRI and I pay cash, it's $250. If my insurance pays for it, it's $1,200.
Okay.
Because you have to wait for our business, you have to wait for mortgage checks. Mm-hmm. You have to wait for recoverable depreciation. You don't get paid when the work's completed.
And that's literally what the stats are for an MRI, dude. That's a bomb.
Yeah. So when you look at it, yes, we are going to get paid more because we have more bureaucracy on our side. So anybody who thinks that we're charging more than a retail, well, no, duh. We don't get paid 50% now and 50% when we walk out the door.
Mm-hmm. And so, lots changed. What do you think about Xactimate numbers and when the pricing's not high enough?
So that's one thing. I have worked successfully when I was in Minnesota, working for a contractor out there, where we did call Xactimate and we did let them know what our prices was. I went to their conference, and literally on the spot, we told them, hey, for framing, for us, costs $75 an hour. And sure enough, by the time I made it back to Minnesota from Utah, it was $75 an hour. So a lot of times it's just reaching out to Xactimate and letting them know what those prices are.
Again, just knowing kind of how the system works. So walk the guy that's not really into insurance what an insurance supplement is. We have people here wondering about the business. There's $100 billion in the insurance restoration industry. We make a living in neighborhoods affected by wind, hail, offering roofs that are covered in full by the insurance. We work contingent upon approval. It's the easiest sell in America because if we don't get approval for your roof from your insurance company, there is no charge. But if we do, we replace the roof for no more than what you're paid. However, the insurance company always pays.
It always pays less than what we need. So the one thing is they're hoping a truck in a truck just takes it and runs with it. Or that the homeowner, I think they purposely do it low right off the bat, hoping that the homeowner might just keep the money. And
how do you think that works?
Because when you give them, if you give a homeowner and there's a chance that they might just keep the money, mm-hmm. You're not going to give them a bunch. You're going to give them as little as possible. So that if they do decide not to spend it, you didn't give them too much because that's just the type of people they are. Especially with gas prices now about to hit $5, there's going to be more people who consider like, hey, I don't need it. I'm just going to pocket it. So that's where I do think they shortchange it in the beginning, which does create a whole new industry that you have to be fighting for it. You have to fight for what's owed because you can't just give a price and say this is what we charge. They want us to break every single piece of it down and justify every piece. And they have things that they know that they're going to approve immediately. You're requesting this? Of course we're going to pay for it. Well, then why didn't you pay it for the first time? Mm-hmm. That's where there's certain supplements, there's no fight on them. Why aren't those ones approved right away?
Well, it's not right. The insurance companies systematically deny that they cheat people fairly owed monies, but it is a part of the game. We are contractors, yep. And what we're trying to do is basically only get what's fair.
Yeah.
So what is your method of getting what's fair and reasonable?
So you have to go in a couple different routes. And sometimes you're going to get everything you want. Sometimes you're going to get nothing what you want. So the trick is because every insurance company has different requirements. They have different managers that you have to get that through. You got to come in a couple different ways. One way will work for you for this insurance company and this adjuster. The next time it won't work. So we have a lot of different things where we run into where they're really trying to shortchange us. So they'll say there's no O&L. Well, let's say there's a screen enclosure in the back. Well, we need to set up hours of protection to make sure we don't damage it. How do we argue that? Well, if we damage one screen, I can tell you, sir, we're going to end up having to do 4 or 5 of them. And God forbid we hit one of the braces that holds it together. That could be $1,000 out of our pocket. Absolutely, we're going to set up protection. When I worked in the north and I wrote retail estimates and they had a $4,000 Japanese maple underneath, we charged them extra to protect it. Absolutely. And that's what's same what we're going to do with the insurance company.
Yeah, it's no different.
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake you see contractors make in supplements?
Trying to throw the kitchen sink at it.
Okay.
So if they got something approved once upon a time, they want to do it every single time. Like, oh, well, I got this paid for by this adjuster. I hear it a lot from salespeople I work with. Well, they'll show me a scope and show it approved. And it's like, yeah, well, we can try and fight for that and get it 1 out of 30 times. Or we can fight for how we're going to get this closed efficiently. Because salesmen are only going to give you more supplements if you make sure they get paid.
Yeah, and supplements are part of the process. What percentage of jobs do we supplement our RCA?
So I was just looking at your guys' sales this last week. It was 800,000. We had 300,000 in supplements.
Nice. Not nice on sales numbers. Usually we're up over $1 million. Typically we've been 1.4 every week or more, and we're a little bit down right now.
Yeah.
More focus on solar.
Yeah, I would say probably about 50%. There's a lot of things that go through legal, a lot of things that are going in retail. So obviously we can't eat the whole pie.
So now let's talk about your journey, because you were already supplementing jobs, working for companies.
Yeah.
How'd you hear about our company?
So actually, Sky Diamond's flyer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got to see $100,000 worth of value that you could add to your company by learning some stuff. And I remember, like, what's up with this? I asked one of the guy who used to work for your uncle. He goes, oh, that's Lee. He's a
sucker.
Yeah. He's like, I already know everything he knows.
Right. That's all good. He didn't want to. He was just worried about keeping his people, keeping his chicken his line.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys both learned from some of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And all those guys, I hope, are very successful. Very grateful that you made it out here. But you were very much a one-man operator.
Yes.
So describe what that looked like.
So, again, I get a little backstory. I worked as an adjuster in sales, and I would just go from one storm to the next on my own. So it's always kind of, I focus on myself.
Show.
Yeah, I would love to compete. I want to do better than the person next to me.
Yeah.
So being able to have a team and have people who are successful on your team, that's tough, because you constantly, you want to boost them up and give them higher morale, but at the same time, you just want to beat their socks off every time.
Yeah.
So that was probably the most challenging part right off the bat.
It's having people that would do the job almost as well as you, but you wanting to beat them.
Yeah.
I had the same problem in sales, man. And a lot of my freaking friends, family, and everyone that worked with me was, it's funny. Things have not changed that much either. I mean, when it comes down to it, I always have to be careful and be mindful of that same thing.
Yeah.
So, any struggles in going from one-man show to a team?
Yeah, so hiring people who had skills, and they would come in, and I had one guy who really knew the system, had a very good recommendation by somebody, and when I would be out of town and here in Naples, I would get complaints from other coworkers.
Yeah, like when the cat's away, the mouse will play.
Yes. And literally, there was one thing I needed to get done, and he didn't even get it done till the end of the day.
Yeah.
And shortly after, he was out the door. But it was one of those guys who was also, I would train him how to do something, and he would get it right. And if I would he would get something wrong, it was really dumb, and I'd make him feel dumb about it. It was like a kid who's purposely doing stuff wrong to get attention. And it was like, I know you can do it, and I want to make you do it right, but there's some people you can't.
And sometimes we got to be careful, because we turn people off. I know I probably got to a point with a lot of, because we get emotional, we get passionate, we want people to work as hard as we do, and getting people in line on our team building, some things you've worked on specifically. Yeah. And your team has, really come together. Yeah. I think the number one thing, if you're watching this and you're in roofing or insurance restoration, if you're doing big volume, you got to have a process for supplement. And really, I want to know a couple things. I want to know that my estimates are getting done and submitted within 72 hours. I want to have that communication with that insurance company every 3 days. I want to update what's going on, who's in charge. And there's oftentimes where these claims are just drawn out, that you won't get a response. Yeah. And so the only way that you can stay on it, how do you stay on it?
So we had there's one insurance company here in the state of Florida that makes us jump through a lot of hoops. Now that we've gotten it to the point where we can tell the homeowner how to fill out a certain form so that we can get it to them, we went and turned an insurance company that's taken 4 months to now we're getting them done with about 45 days. And that one was just, they were constantly evolving to make it more difficult for us. But now that we've kind of figured their system out and worked by their rules, it goes a lot faster.
You know what you can get.
Yes.
And you don't try and send them an estimate for anything more.
Well, with this one, you kind of
how does it work?
I can't wheel and deal, but I can state that I need this amount to be able to do the job. I'm not fighting for the homeowner. I'm fighting for the construction company to be able to complete a project and be profitable, because that's what
we've had all these material price increases, and they put a low number out to begin with, and then a price increase. We fight over supplement, and then price increase. So we're renegotiating over and over again. And the longer they delay, the more expensive it is. It's ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just like the one insurance company, though. They play by, if I tell them it's every couple months, they change their price. They'll go up a little bit higher. So now I know I can get $650 a square from them. So that's where I will write my estimate, put a user-defined line item, say for the agreed price of $650 per square, which will subtract the amount difference. Let's say $16,000 is exactly $650 a square, and I'm at $17,500. This will subtract $1,500, and it'll have all the line items that we have in there. So we're still, because they require that, and then we minus the $1,500, and we're equal to the price that we know that they're going to approve. And a lot of times, depending on the market, if it's in Orlando, they do it a little easier. If we go up to Pensacola, they want to drop that down a little bit. But we've learned that if you shoot out that price that we know that they have approval for, we just shoot it at that, and they'll sometimes bite right away.
See, what I love is that he's got each little city, each little market, each little insurance company a process within the process to win. And sort of, if you're watching this and you're wondering if he could help the supplements with you, we're very selective with who we actually work with. But one thing about it is we don't charge a bunch of upfront fees. We work on a contingency of success. And the way it works with Kyle is, he's got to have a team to be able to follow up. And everyone wants to know, how do you build a supplement department? It all starts with your team. So what are the job roles in your team? What do they do?
So first thing I wanted to do is expand the estimators so I could have more time on the phones. Well, then we get more volume. Now I need to not have my phone ringing as it's ringing. So from there, we expanded to callers. And the big thing with teaching people is you got to teach them slow. You teach them too much, too fast, all of a sudden everything's getting mixed together. So I would start with my estimators doing the more simple ones, working with salespeople who give us all the notes so that we can write an accurate estimate and there's not guesswork. I'm really good. I can look at something and guess within very small margins, being correct. They won't get those guesses right away. They have to do repetitive. So I've taught my team repetitive, and then slowly grow them to the point where now I have some people who are new to the industry who are writing estimates just as fast as me with just as much knowledge on some of the smaller things. They still need to grow. I still write all our commercial estimates, most of our metal, most of our tile estimates.
So you're overseeing, you're duplicating your training, but this is the kind of basis of the whole deal.
Yeah, because we first need the estimators, and then we had the callers. The callers, too.
Now, how do the estimators, get control of the people in the field with communication? Isn't that important?
So, yeah, the one thing we have is an intake person. So that was actually someone I got before the estimates, because my biggest complaint was I didn't leave notes. I would say, got it, and then I'd let you know when the money's coming. So having somebody put those detailed notes, have phone calls with the salespeople, letting them know, hey, this is where this, and this are at. Hey, this has been sent to the insurance company. We've confirmed that the insurance company's received it. Having somebody to then also assign those to our estimators as that person's grown. Now they know which estimates they can assign to which person, so that we have a solid process.
Heck yeah, man. And so as you move through this process, you can't be the only one talking to the insurance company.
No.
So how do you do that?
So that we started training. I have Gabe and Carlos. I call them the Goons.
Nice.
I can
Goon Squad.
Send it in the Goons. So they're both. Gabe started off as working. He was on a Navy ship for I think 4 years straight. So perfect guy to shove in the corner and
hey,
make
dude,
phone
we're gonna
calls.
expand that office. Don't worry. We're about to hit the expansion button.
But yeah, the main thing I wanted to teach them is what information we're getting and what not to say. Because a lot of times people, you give them some leash, and all of a sudden now they're trying to do processes that they can't do.
Recreate the will.
Yeah, and they're messing it up. They think, oh, I saw him do it once, now I can do it. No, right now we're just going to get you getting information. Where's it at? When can we expect it? When's the adjuster reviewing it? Has an adjuster been assigned? Has the insurance received it? Have they received our photos? Stuff like that. Stuff where I didn't need to be on the phone confirming that stuff. And once we got the adjuster had confirmed that they're reviewing it, then I would take over. But then I would also coach them and tell them how I did what I did.
And, as you're getting going with the process, obviously doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in supplements every week, 300,000 in supplements a week. That's big time. But what were the hiccups in the beginning?
So not having great organization.
Mm-hmm.
I literally was doing a notebook, and I would have about 5 lines for each thing, and I would write left voicemail on this day, call back on this day, and I'd have different ones for different offices. Some salesmen would have their own. So that was, I thought I was meant to be a one-person
contractors a lot
team.
of times they think because they're not organized, because like you have a mental organization that's weird. You can handle a lot of different trades. You're like an octopus. You can be doing 6 things at the same time.
Yeah.
But they don't think that if they can just hire someone else to do it, that they can be that organized person for you.
Yeah.
And then it just solves all the problems.
Yeah, but you also got to figure out a way that makes sense where it fits in with the process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we went to the magnet boards, which is old tried and true.
Nice. And then I wanted you to do an improvement upon that.
Yes, and we made an amazing improvement with the SDU supplement job board.
So tell them about how that we hold you accountable, being because we want to know where the supplements are, just like any contractor in any service, and we're always trying to speed up cash flow because insurance companies are taking longer. So
yes.
So how do you update that?
So we make sure that our CRM, which is Job Nimbus currently, we make sure we put in all our notes in there. So every time we touch the file, we leave a note. We won't leave too detailed a notes because we also use our tracking thing, which so the beauty of our new one is when you when you touch a job, you can retask it to yourself to come back. So where did I leave off, and when am I coming back to it? So knowing where all those jobs were is a big part. So creating the SDU funnel, like the pathway, we really wanted to segment it out. So we have jobs that are in Florida guarantee and Louisiana guarantee. So when we have salesmen saying,
those are backup insurance.
Yes, that's when insurance companies go out of business. So we have we'll have a GM in Louisiana saying, why the hell is this taking 4 months? Well, Lighthouse went out of business.
Nope. It's your fault.
Lighthouse has not given the files to Liga yet. They're expecting them in the next 2 weeks, and then they need to be passed off. And every Liga job, we're still dealing with Access Homes, who Access Homes somehow was a business before the hurricane started and literally went out of business 2 days after.
Oh, my God.
That doesn't sound like a scam, doesn't it?
No, it's not a scam at all. So, basically, in building this team, what's happened is that all my sales guys depend on you and your squad for their estimates, their supplements. Yeah. And so talk to them a little bit about how we request an estimate and when an estimate is necessary.
So we have through
I need to request an estimate on my house. You're here. I'm going to send you over to my house.
Okay.
I have a water claim.
Well, the simplest way is via email or through a tag in Job Nimbus. Unfortunately, unless the job is in a certain level at some point, the integration doesn't give me the email with Job Nimbus every time. So I have told everybody just to tag me in a message, kind of give me a short detail of what's going on. If we have interior, I need all the room measurements. I need to know what type of ceiling was damaged, what kind of damage is it. if you just tell me the ceiling's damaged and I send it to the insurance company to replace the whole ceiling and it's 2 little patches, I look like a jackass. I look like I'm up to no good. But at the end of the day, it is an estimate, and I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Nice. So, these guys that are watching this, they're wanting to do their own supplements and maybe master this trade as a salesperson, and that's all great. But what do you think about the guys that leverage the system versus do it themselves? What do you think?
Well, the people who do it themselves, when they run into a wall, they send it back to me. So it's like, oh yeah, I can do it. I do all my own. Well, those same people who say they do it all on their own still send it to me when they run into a wall. We had a firefighter who had that attitude, and every time he'd send it back. We have a manager in Tampa who sends them to me as well. So it's one of those things. It's if you want to have time to focus on selling, use your time to focus on selling. Don't try and master a bunch of different things. What we're good at is mastering supplements, knowing the process, knowing how different insurance companies work, what we need to get them and when do we need to get it to them. How do we need to make sure that it's been assigned to an adjuster? Because you have FedNat. They're a mess. So making sure over and over and over again and leaving messages to customer service to leave a note onto the file, doing things like that. You don't want to focus all your time on that.
No.
So you're going to have easy ones, and salespeople will be like, well, why would I want to take 10% on something that was so easy? Well, it was pretty easy because we knew how to get there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go there and you wasted a bunch of time, you could have had another sale.
So talk to me a little bit about your results from your team after a year.
So last year we were just compiling our team. It was our first year as being a full team. We finished off with $5.8 million. It was pretty decent for our first year.
Yeah.
We averaged, I think it was 38% increase. This year, we've already 80% of what we did last year.
Oh, nice.
We're at almost $4.7 million with 436 completed supplements.
Dude, there's a drop bomb right there. How would y'all like a office that was getting this additional profit? And they're all incentivized. And, basically it's a system in which everybody wins. Talk to them a little bit about what we've designed so that, we kind of get everybody involved.
What do you mean by that?
Just sort of performance-based incentives and how you keep your team involved by being willing to share.
So yeah, one of the things is we making sure that we're rewarding each month. We have to hit certain margins. If we don't pay for ourselves, well, why would we get a bonus?
Got to hit the numbers.
So like us, our break even with overhead and everything is around $416,000 in supplements. This month we're almost at $600,000 already. So we're going right past that every time. But also, one of the things I do, we had a get-together, out of my own pocket, I took them to Disney World, took them and their family, let them know that, hey, I am the boss, and I may get a little bit more than y'all, but I do cherish you guys, and I'm willing to do something. I know the company isn't going to pay for it, so it's on me. I want to let them know I'm appreciative and that my success is based on their success.
Nice. That's what it's all about. Use the money to love the people.
Yes.
And don't love the money and use the people. Sometimes guys like me and you that are really competitive, that are very hard working ourselves, when we're trying to lead, we get emotional. And I think, we did a little intervention and everybody's like, Lee, don't yell so much. Don't be so intense. Don't be so crazy.
Yeah.
But we worked some great team building, my mom specifically with your team, and, talk to the team about getting everybody on the same page and what you learned kind of in that exercise.
So just learn that we are a team, and we all have our own things that make us tick, and we all have our different things that stop us from ticking. Mm-hmm. Things that are gonna
our weaknesses.
Yeah, and things that are gonna motivate one person is gonna demotivate another person.
Right.
Like one of my callers who helps close supplements, Carla. If she's competing, she's not as great. If she's competing against herself, nobody's stopping her. Mm-hmm. Carla coming for you. That's how we say it in the office.
Nice. That's awesome. So, the really important thing is that if you're in insurance restoration, it's hard to find a dependable supplement company. The reason why I did this is because I've used outside supplement companies, been let down. The estimates didn't get done. I didn't get updates on my files. I didn't get a follow-up every 3 days. And some of these people want insane upfront like ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
And so I wanted something that was based on success. And so we built this, and we built it for our company. Then we started sharing it with our clients. What's been our experience working with the clients?
So we've had some hiccups. I know when we got hit with the hurricane, it took me working some days till 8 or 9 to make sure we got things done. Mm-hmm. As we're driving down to Naples, I had to pull over, stop at Wendy's for the Christmas party and get an estimate done real quick.
On the way to the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Nice.
So just sometimes sometimes when everything hits at once, it gets the most difficult. But your clients, as long as you're up front with them and you're not trying to hide anything, and you're saying, hey, we're just headed up against the wall, we're not too busy for you. Just right this second, can you give me just one more day, or can you give me till this afternoon? You got my ear right now. What can we talk about? So sometimes you're going to have times where everything hits at once. And the thing is, you can't employ people as if it's going to hit it all at once every single day.
Well, dude, you're a crazy freak when it comes to doing like multiple things with, like this file, negotiating over here, doing this. Any like tips on how to like have multiple things going at the same time? I mean, I don't think that multitasking exists. I think that you focus on individual tasks and you get super focused on them, but that you can basically start a lot of projects.
Yeah.
Are you an activator?
Yes.
Oh, me too.
So.
Yeah, we both got the same problem. We start projects and sometimes have trouble finish them.
Yeah, and just making sure that we're spazzing out.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get it all done.
Yeah, we're both spazzes.
You got 3 seconds after you finish this one. Okay, I'm gonna put 3 seconds into something I got to finish, and then I'll come back to it.
Nice.
So it's getting from one thing to another sometimes. Yeah, a little stressful.
So how many people are on the team now?
So we have 8 people on the team.
Nice. And we expand and contract, you know, and when storms come, we'll hire more.
Yeah.
But we're looking for contractors who do want to get more in a supplement company, that want kind of a better layer of communication. And we have a digital board that will keep you updated. And so I told Kyle, come here, tell your story, share what's working from our point of view. And look, I mean, if you want to build your own supplement department, we've talked about it all on this show. It's not just about knowing how to do it, it's in doing it. And why not just outsource it and let us show you what we can do for you and service you way beyond other people? Because
we have a great team, and we could be very successful doing multiple for working on our own even. But the thing that really makes us successful is every time we run into a wall, we find a way to get around it. So it's constantly perfecting the system.
Bro, I'm so proud of you, man. You're blooming into a blue-collar American dream success story. And you're on your way, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about multifamily investments, and I want to encourage you, all these big bonuses and these big things that you hit. You want to make sure and build wealth, and also don't let Uncle Sam come take all of it, know? And the way you do it is you do it in multifamily. And guys, I'm really pumped up to have Kyle. You're going to be at the Blue Collar American Dream Conference?
Yes.
You pumped up? What are you most pumped up about?
So introducing our product to the rest of the world. Showing them that, hey, not only have we figured it out ways that it would take you years to figure out this much. And it's not trying to be cocky. It's that we're that laser focused in perfecting the process.
And so how can they get in touch with you maybe prior to the conference, or where can they see you, and just let them know?
So you can always give me a call at 262-490-7814. Shoot me a text. My email is also kcestimates@gmail.com. We are going to have new emails for the SDU supplement clients, so we can work directly with you.
It's all good. Get in touch with my man Kyle, and he'll start figuring out how to get more money, get overhead and profit, get you a higher price per square. And we do it fast with efficiency. That was the number one thing. It's not about going for the maximum dollar. It's about getting the money as fast as possible.
Because, you can brag about, hey, because I have gotten $1,100 a square, and it was beautiful.
And I always kind of bust his balls as the business owner, like, don't brag about that, because we're here to be of service and not overcharge. Insurance companies make us look bad, and they try to make us out to be these evil guys who charge too much.
Well, when you have something like that, it's multifaceted. There's multiple layers, there's redac and stuff like that.
And there's special scenarios. Yeah. But the reality is we want to provide a fair value.
Yes.
We want to be reasonable, and that's really the key behind a good supplement department. You need these core values. You need alignment that's within like a business owner. And that's what's different about our company versus a lot of the others. And so if you want to have Kyle work with your supplements, You also need to come to the American Dream Conference, because inside the community of people that you're meeting in the stage, like, you might look at all the speakers and think Ed Milet's cool, but then have a conversation with Kyle about overhead and profit, about your market, about getting supplements approved, and then make a life-changing connection that adds $3 million in extra profits to your business. I mean, you said that we added $4.7 million in profits and we're not even through the second quarter.
No, yeah.
Dude. You're adding fucking 8 figures in profit to my bottom line. High five, bro. That's fucking badass. And that has to feel good, man. I'm really proud of you.
It took some time figuring out how to have the multi-prong approach. We have estimators. Then they go to follow-up. We have people who close. So being able to have that 3-prong approach, and then also when we're working with clients in our own custom boards, we can have a weekly call with each one of our clients and tell them exactly, hey, this has been assigned to an adjuster, or hey, the insurance, we've confirmed they received it. We sent it 2 days ago. They've received it. They have not assigned it to an adjuster yet. Once it's assigned to an adjuster, when you give us the next call, we'll be able to tell you who that adjuster is, what their email is, what their extension is, and then now we can also tell you when they're actively reviewing it. We hope to even at some point with SDU Hub be able to give you messages, emails immediately when they move from one stage to the next. We won't even have to be on the phone. You'll already know where it is.
Hey, so if you want Kyle to help you with your supplements, type in Supplement King into the comments. Supplement King. We'll put the Supplement King on your case. Man, thanks, brother. Appreciate you doing the Blue Collar Boardroom. You did a great job. Fantastic job telling your story and educating the world. Guys, got questions for Kyle about supplement claims, about overhead and profit? Feel free to ask in the comments. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.